build it up and put some welds on it from like here to here and kind of build it up to match that yellow. Aluminum TIG Weld Build Up Job Season 2 Episode 4.
Warning! Flashing lights occurred during this video. Please use caution. The content and techniques you see in this video are performed by professionals. We ask that you do not attempt at your own risk. Thank you.
Alright, what is going on, guys? Short little project here today. We'll show you. Got this aluminum little part. It's for a boat. Not really sure what it's for. Pretty sure it's anodized though, so I'm going to have to build it up and put some welds on it from like here to here and kind of build it up to match that yellow. So I think I'm going to grind a little bit of that paint off or sandblast it, and then I'll just go to town welding it until I get about that size shape or whatever, then maybe grind it down after, and that's it. First things first, gotta see what the time is. 12:58. So I gotta write 12:58 down and keep track of my time.
Gotta find the marker.
Yeah, I think that came out pretty good. Now if it's anodized, there still could be a little bit in there, so I'm not really sure how it'll weld until I try welding it. I might have to hit it again with a flapper wheel or something, but we'll try that out. Hopefully it worked pretty good. Got a little hook right there, a little nub or whatever you call it, a burr, so I might grind that off. But we'll see how it goes. Power TIG 325 EXT, switch to my number 2 setting for aluminum, and normal AC pedal, no TIG pulse, that's off. Welding amps I'll just keep at 250. AC frequency I'll keep at 110. AC balance 40%. EP electrode positive, so if you had a miller that would be 60% EN. Downslope 0. End amps 10, post flow 7.5 seconds, pre-flow 0.2. The pre-flow helps with, if you just run it for like 0.2 of a second, that helps with a better arc start. Start amps 40, I mean I could bump it down, but 40 is pretty good for aluminum. Upslope 0, weld amps 250 again, high frequency TIG. And that's it. I'll check my gas, but I want to switch it over from a gas lens to a standard power body. Now, for aluminum, I like to run a standard pallet and power body. See, I don't know if you can see there. See all that gunk in there? I was using this for aluminum the other day, and that's what happens. It gets all that gunk in there if you dip your tungsten, or if you have something nasty like galvanized or just stuff like that. So that's why I like to run the standard thing, power and power body, instead of a gas lens. You don't get all that gunk in there like that. Just one thing with me, preference I guess. So I switch over most of my aluminum, unless it's thin stuff, I'll weld with 1/8 inch tungsten, and that's blue 330 or blue 2% laminated. Back off your cap. Advise you get a couple more turns on there. Screw that on. Then I sharpen my tungsten to a point. Always good to put your glasses on when you sharpen your tungsten. With aluminum on an inverter machine or even a transformer machine, I kind of like to sharpen my tungsten to a ball point, not super sharp, you'll see in a second, and I'll just dunk it after that. I don't know if it's the best to dunk it in cold water like that or warm water, but that's just what I do. And I just let the machine ball it on its own after that. I feel like I get good arc starts, especially on this inverter, and stick it out about that far, and that's about it. Then I'll check my purge. I'll pop it in there. I'll put a little mark on from where I want my weld to go, right there to there, and then I'll just pop it in there and I'll start doing some passes on it. There to about there. Just hold it in this vise. Little tip if you don't know already, but if you're using a little drill press vise like this, a lot of them have paint on the bottom of them. So just make sure that if you're clamping your ground to your table, especially aluminum table like this, and you don't want big arc marks on it, then try grounding your ground to the part. That's always the best thing to do. Or just make sure the paint's not on the bottom of the table. And that's it. Alright, for filler wire, I'm going to use 5356 wire. Our only two wires that we have at the shop is 4043 and 5356. Now, don't hold me to this, but I'm almost positive that if you have a part that is anodized or will be anodized, you want to use 5356 or something similar to that, because if you use 4043, then the part will turn black, or the weld will turn black after that. Even though I really don't think that this is going to be anodized afterwards, but just going to do it anyway. So, can't go wrong, and that's a little tip. Alright, not much to this. Might be a boring video, kind of. You let me know. But, yeah, I'm just going to do a little weld bead on the start and stop, like where I put those marks at, where I want the weld buildup to go on each end. And then I'll just run a bead down each long ways, I guess. And just start padding it. Padding beads and taking your time and just going a little bit at a time, really. Not much to it. I guess you'll see. Ready for the electrode duff in 3, 2, 1. It's possible that there were some choice words said there, but if you dip your tungsten like that, best thing to do is just stop immediately, sharpen your tungsten, take a clean stainless steel wire brush if you have it, and just clean your part down like that, get all that nasty black soot off and everything, and go back to town welding it again and hopefully not dip it again. So about from there to about there, I got a lot more to add. Right where that nut is, that nub, go past that nub. Alright, not much to it really, just pad and beads, take your time, go do a little bit at a time. Once you get that first layer down, it's a little easier. After that you get the picture in your mind kind of how you want the weld to go. It's going to be a little rounded and stuff. So just do a little bit at a time. You can see it's going to get a little heated up. This little part heats up fast, so I'll just put the fan on it and let it cool down a little bit and see how much more I got to go. I think a fan's okay to put on aluminum to help it cool down, as long as it's not like a misting fan or anything. If you know in the comments, let me know. I guess if you know. I don't really know, and it's hard to find a direct answer, but I think with aluminum, maybe stainless, it's okay to help not rapid cool it, but cool it down a little faster. But yeah, that's that. And we'll see in a second how much more I got to go. Down. Put it back up and measure it up. And I still got just a little bit more to go from like here to here. And that should be pretty good, I think. So I'll put a mark and then I'll go after it again and go from there. Alright guys, I apologize for all the bad audio levels and background noises and all this voiceover and everything. I'm just figuring out different cameras, microphones and everything, so apologize for that.
Tip, don't burn your glove with the filler wire.
Kind of a good tip, you'll see in a second, but with aluminum, I don't like to run the TIG wire down anything past like 3-4 inches really, because once you get to a certain length, it just gets so hot and it'll melt your fingers and shrink your fingers on the gloves. So it's just not cool when it does that, especially if it's a brand new pair of gloves. And it looks like we're all clear. That's all flush on the top. I think, I don't know if I should put another pass right there or not. Make it like level it out a little. And then the bottom looks pretty level. I think once I grind that down, that should be pretty good. I could put a little bit on right now just so I don't have to later. Maybe I'll do that. And that should be good. Alright, I think we got it pretty good. I'm just going to let this cool down again with the fan, and I used the air compressor hose before. I nicked that top little nub. I tried to get this nub out before. I couldn't. So I'm going to just grind it down, and maybe if I have to, I'll build it back up. But we'll see. That's that. Let it cool down. That was hot. That ground. Let it cool down, and then we'll trace it and see how I got to grind it down after. Alright, so I made a copy of this paper, and I cut this out, and then I put this on this side, like that, and traced around the top, flipped it over, and traced around the bottom. I should have just flattened this first, and then did that, but that's alright. So that's about how I got to grind it. And then for my grinder, I'll be using this white rock. I think I used this in the last couple videos. It is a Type 27 Max Flex made by Rex Cut, and it's like a white rock, almost like these black wheels. Where are they? Almost like a black wheel. In between that and I guess a cutting wheel, but they work really good, and they don't gunk up, and they actually eat away that aluminum pretty fast, so work really good for aluminum. So that's that. Pop it on a 4-inch grinder, put it in the vise, and I'll start grinding it, I guess. Then safety first, got my glasses, welding hat to keep the dust out of my hair, some earplugs, and a face shield. You don't need all that, but that's just what I like to use. Now these wheels I only really use on aluminum, sometimes stainless steel if I've got like a light polish to do or light work to do, but look at all that dust coming off of that. They work pretty good. And I'm trying not to go too much. I'm just taking a little bit off each time and kind of putting little hash marks on like where I want to contour it at, but I'm flattening each side, taking all the weld down on like that, kind of putting a little round on that one end closest to me, and you can see how I kind of like cut into it. That was kind of my little contour I wanted to do. So now you'll see I flipped it, and just going at it a little bit more. Kind of got a picture in my head, the idea on how I want to do it, and yep. Alright, I got my sides all cleaned up and flattened out. Same thing with that, and I kind of contoured this a little, and I put a little mark right there and right there. That's where the swoop's got to go. I kind of contoured that a little, got all that. So I'm just going to cool it down with the air hose, and then I'll come back and retrace it and see what I got to do from there. Usually with aluminum or stainless steel, I'll just take the air hose and just hold it with a pair of pliers and just spray it for a little while with the air, and that helps cool it down. You just got to be careful with certain materials. You don't want to do that with. Alright, I'm no metallurgist or anything. That's just what I learned from other people. But if you know, please mention that in the comments. What metals it's okay to rapid cool like that. Thanks. So almost something like that. Just got a little bit more to take off right there, and I poked a little hole in that, and right there. Hopefully this is good. I kind of hit that a little. Hopefully I don't gotta round it too much. I might have to put a little bit more weld on after to make it a little more rounder, but it might be alright. Alright. Alright, so I got a little bit right here. I just got to build up on that corner and kind of round it a little bit more, and same thing over here. I just a little more round up over there. Back to the welder. Yeah, just got to put a little bit more weld on it. Not much to it. I think I went a little overboard in one spot, but I didn't feel like coming back and putting more weld on it, so that was that. Yeah, not much to it. Just adding a little bit more weld on. Alright, I think that should be pretty good. I just got to round that out, and then same thing over there, and hopefully it should be good. I'm going to cool it off, grind it, and hope for the best. Alright, if this is a no-no, and you shouldn't cool parts down like this, by the way, this is not critical, but please let us know. Pretty good. So I think if I just round it, and then same thing with this part, just kind of round it a little better, that should be good. I think I got it pretty good. Now I'm going to use the just a flapper wheel on a little grinder. Alright, I think we are all done. Pretty close at least. Matches around that way. This matches. Flip it over. I think we're pretty close. I don't really like this on the board because oh, that's your main selling picture. And I think that's done. Did those earlier, that's for another video. Alright guys, I think that's it. Not much left for that one, so short little video. Hopefully I'll edit it pretty fast and get it up to you guys. But thank you guys for watching, and see you on the next one. Adios. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, dislike, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Instagram where I post more often at Chris Winarski. See you on the next one.